also rise to participate in the amendments to the Governor's address. So, as stated by the Leader of the House, we will provide constructive and suggestion so that we work for the interests of the state and the people.
But honorable members, please remember that the time allotted to you is 10 minutes.
Okay, sir.
Confined to the 10 minutes.
I know, sir, 10 minutes is too short a time to, deliberate on the interests of the House. But, sir, okay, since your ruling is, I'll try to restrict to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So, I come to item number 6, agriculture and farmers' welfare. So, as stated here, more than 70% of the state's population is directly or indirectly dependent on agriculture and allied sector. So, it implies that it is a very, very important subject, sir. So, I would like to express my points here. There have been unfair practices to the farmers when they go and sell the produce. I'm talking about a particular market, sir, this Yo Maulong market, where the middlemen, the traders, simply deduct about 5 kg to 10 kg from a plastic bag or a basket, sir. So this sometimes, when the produce, say, is worth 50 per kg, about 500 rupees to 1,000 rupees already deducted, sir. So I'd like to ask the department concerned to address this issue and ensure that the farmers get remunerative prices for the produce, for the work that they have put in, sir. Because we all depend on the farmers to ensure that we have food on our table, sir. So this is one sector because, of course, there are many things that we can be said. But since time is limited, so I'll try to cut as short as possible, sir. Coming to animal husbandry and veterinary, sir. Sir, in Upper Shillong area, Milim area and adjoining areas, there are many people who take up dairy farming, piggery and other allied activities. So I would like to request the government on this point, if we can have a veterinary hospital in those areas so that we can cater to the needs of the sick animals, because we have, I believe, sir, we have a hospital in Shillong City which will be very, very difficult for the farmers to bring the livestock if they are sick to hospitals in the city, sir. So if this can be taken care and more hospitals are created in the rural areas, this will ease the farmers who take up this activity to supplement their income. Another thing, sir, Upper Shillong, central dairy farming here at Mauyong. I think the milk, if not more, at least 50% of the milk that is supplied by the central dairy at Mauyong comes from Upper Shillong. So, sir, yes, this is one issue that, this is one way of helping the farmers. But what I would like to request the government is to ensure that there is value addition in the sense that, for example, if, a pasteurization plant can be set up in those areas so that the farmers get, additional benefits when when there are value addition to their products. And then coming to social welfare, sir. I remember the previous government, about 500 rupees per month were given to old age, and then sick people, widow, single mothers. I think, sir, I've learned that this has been stopped. So I request the government, if this can be provided, this will go a long way in, easing the problems, hardship faced by people who are old, people who are sick, people, who are single mothers and widows. Health and family welfare. Sir, we've been discussing about upgrading of PHCs, CHCs and so on and so forth. Sir, we have been discussed earlier. I remember when I was a member of this house, 5 years back. I remember we were talking about congestion in city hospitals. For example, like Civil Hospital in Shillong, and I believe other hospitals in other towns of the state. So I'd request the government, if they can upgrade the dispensaries, PHCs, CHCs in the rural areas, this will ease the congestion and at the same time provide health care to the people as close as possible. This will ease not only the medical service that they need will also ease the financial burden if they have to come all the way from rural areas to urban centers to avail health facility. Food and civil supplies, sir. Yes, the government is trying to provide food grains to poor people, but I'd like to mention here, there are many poor families, sir, who have been left out from the PDS system in the sense that they've not been included in the PDS system and then they're denied food grains at subsidized price. If I can request the government, if this can be looked into so that poor people, ration card, so that poor people can avail food prices at a subsidized rate, because the prices of essential commodities has gone so high that some of the poor families cannot afford proper nutrition because they cannot afford to buy food at very high prices. Education, this is a very important sector, sir. And in earlier years, Meghalaya, Shillong in particular, was known as an educational hub. So I think, sir, we have to reclaim that glory again. So I would request the government, since there was proposal to set up medical and engineering colleges, I urge upon the government to ensure that these are expedited so that we can have medical colleges, and then we'll be discussing in the reply of the Honorable Health Minister that we're lacking in many doctors in many subjects, specialized doctors. So if we can have our own medical college, engineering colleges, we can cater to the shortage of these professionals to man our health centers and other centers to provide health care to the people of the state. And also, sir, education. Now the market has become, the job market has become so competitive. So I think I would urge upon the government to ensure that we have more institutes of higher learning. For example, this postgraduate, this PGT college, which provides B.Ed education to students, I believe in Shillong, for the last many years, the intake has remained stagnant to 50 teachers. And I've learned that new teachers only 32 new teachers can be included, because about 18 or 20 are in-service teachers who have to be provided with B.Ed education. So, sir, I'd like to request the government, if they can upgrade this PGT college in Shillong, it will go a long way in ensuring that we have quality teachers, teachers who are qualified, teachers who have the B.Ed degree to teach the future generation of our state. And, sir, also I'd like to request the government, yes, we have to have our own state university, but then the state university should be designed that we have courses that are market ready, sir. Market ready courses, so that when the students pass out, they are employable and not simply have degrees that when the degrees have no meaning in the job market. And, sir, I read somewhere that students have not performed well, especially in the school and elementary schools, because some of them come from poor families and do not have proper meals before they come to the school. So they remain lethargic and attentive. So I read somewhere that, there was a voluntary organization that provided meals to students in the schools. And after that, it was noticed that the students perform better when they are provided with better nutrition. And, sir, there is one issue which the Chief Minister requested the Government of India to exempt the students of Meghalaya from appearing for the CUET, Common University Entrance Test. So I'd like to know, sir, since I believe the Government of India has not accepted the request of the Chief Minister, so will this not put the students of our state, in jeopardy as far as the study is concerned? Now I'd like to know, suppose now they pass the CUET, can they still seek admission in colleges in the state, or they have to go elsewhere, because as per the CUET, there may be allotted seats elsewhere? We find that parents have difficulty in sending children from rural areas to the urban areas. And if they have to go outside the state, I don't know, sir, how many parents can afford to send the students outside the state to pursue their studies. And as we understand, Common University Entrance Test, that means you have to pass the entrance test to pursue with higher studies, for example, degree courses. Now, if the students fail the entrance test, will they be able to continue with their studies or not, sir? And I'm afraid, I hope I'm wrong, will this CUET not impinge on the reservation, the quotas that it is meant for the tribal students? I'm not sure. I'd like to get clarification from the government as far as this CUET is concerned, sir. And sir, if the government...
You have only 1 minute at your disposal.
5 minutes, sir.
Kindly wind up.
2 minutes left. Left, or I've used only 2 minutes. Sir, there was a proposal to set up residential schools. So, because residential schools go a long way in helping students avail proper education. So I request the government, if they can look into this and set up more residential schools in the rural areas so that our students can pursue, and then we have, future generation who are really qualified to face the future. Sports and youth affairs. Sir, yes, I appreciate the government for setting up more stadiums, but I don't see any mention in setting up more indoor stadiums so that some of the athletes can utilize the talent that they have. If we have more indoor stadiums of national, if not international, at least national standards, sir. And if possible, in every Sinadi block, which will help the young people, youth who are talented in sports and especially in indoor sports to develop and enhance the talents that they have. Labour. So this is a very, very important subject. So I don't know exactly what is the total number of people looking for employment, seeking employment, who are registered with the employment exchange. So I have a suggestion, sir. We have so many central offices, central undertakings. If the government can, approach those central government, central undertakings, offices, so that ensure that our youth also get employment in those central offices and central undertakings. And sir, I believe a lot of cess has been collected by the Labour Department through the Labour cess, when they seek for permission to build houses, and a Labour cess is imposed. So I'd like to know how much Labour cess has been collected and how much payment have been made to the labourers who have been affected while they're in work to ameliorate the hardships that they're facing. Water resources, sir. This is a very, very important subject. I come from Upper Shillong, where the entire...
Please cut short. Time is up.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Just one or 2 minutes more, sir. Water resources. I would like to request the government, sir, that Upper Shillong area and those adjoining areas are catchment areas for the entire Greater Shillong Water Supply Scheme, sir. And those areas, they have to be, ensure that the forests are regenerated, and so that becomes catchment areas and ensure sufficient water supply to the island. So, sir, there are many subjects. Maybe time is up, sir.